वेलकम बैक टू माय डियर फ्रेंड्स टू द टेक सिविल लर्निंग्स। आप सभी को टेक सिविल लर्निंग में स्वागत है। एज यू नो अवर चैनल इज कंटिन्यूसली इंसिस्टिंग विद प्रोवाइडिंग द practical education to the students so that they can understand the concept very clearly and they can imagine the concept to the practical levels. So that is what our motto is. So my dear friends, without wasting time, let's start the today topic which is mentioned in the thumbnails. My dear friends, please watch the video till last so that you can understand the concept very clearly, and I promised you, just give me your 32 to means 40 minutes times, you will surely going to understand the concept very clearly, right? So just give me 30 to 40 minutes times, I promise you will going to understand. So let's see. Today we will discuss about the precipitations. My dear friends, already we have discussed about the hydrology, means what you call means hydrological cycles and the sources and the data of hydrology in the previous lecture. So if you have not gone through that lecture, please go through that one so that you can understand the concept very clearly. My dear friends, here precipitations, right, means आप सभी को पता ही होगा precipitation मतलब क्या होता है, ठीक है? Means it's very easy terms, right? We all are familiar with from the school level only, right? So here let us understand this concept means to the means technical point of view, right? As we are engineers, we must have to understand all these concept very clearly. So my dear friends, according to hydrological point of view, right, means according to hydrological point of view, means precipitation is nothing but it is the form, means moistures, right? It is the moistures, either it may be in any form, right? Either it may be in liquid form, it may be in vapor, right? It may be in solid, but the moistures that reaching the earth's surface from the atmosphere, right, means the moistures which approach to the earth surface, right, means the moistures which means comes to the earth surface from the atmospheres, that is nothing but the precipitations, right? means कोई भी फॉर्म, मीन्स मॉइस्चर का कोई भी फॉर्म हो, कोई भी मीन्स पानी का कोई भी फॉर्म हो, मीन्स वेपर का फॉर्म में पानी हो या मीन्स लिक्विड का फॉर्म या सॉलिड का फॉर्म में, ठीक है, जो अर्थ सरफेस पे मीन्स आ जाता है एटमोसफियर से, दैट इज नथिंग बट द प्रिसिपिटेशंस. सो माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, I hope you know the meaning of the precipitation. You can define it in your own way, right? Means the means what you can define the means any form of moisture approaching to the earth surface from the atmosphere, that is nothing but the precipitation. So what happens in the means country like means India and Nepal, right? Means here the main sources of water is rainfall, right? Means mostly the precipitations, means the form of means rainfall is the form of precipitations, right? And in the Nepal, India, especially means what you call the rainfall means is occurring, right? So means especially in the means tropical country like Nepal and India, means rainfall is also known as what you call precipitation. Rainfall is also known as precipitation, means these two terms are synonymously used. So means precipitations data is utmost, right? Means what you call highly needed, means which means up to the high degree, right? Means it is the utmost important for the hydrologist, right? Means precipitation data is very important for the hydrologist as it forms many hydrological study, right? Means from the means what you call precipitation data record, means hydrologist studies all means they can means what you call record the means what you call rainfall, right? Means they can prevent from the floods, means a lots of means what you call a lots of study that can be study from the precipitation data. So this is all about the precipitation, and let me show you one figure so that you can understand the concepts. Here this is the precipitation. As you can see, my dear friends, the water or the moistures of means moistures of water that may be in any forms, right, coming out from the atmosphere to the earth surface, ठीक है, means earth surface पे आ रहा है. So this is nothing but the precipitations. Now हम लोग देखेंगे means reasons occurring of the precipitation, means what are the reason behind of occurring the precipitations, means what are the reason behind occurring of the rainfall, right? means rainfall होता कैसे है, अब हम लोग इसके बारे में जानेंगे, ठीक है. मीन्स क्या होता है, मीन्स देयर मीन्स लॉट्स ऑफ मैकेनिक्स इन्वॉल्व इन मीन्स व्हाट इज ऑकरिंग ऑफ द प्रिसिपिटेशन, राइट. सम ऑफ देम आर लिफ्टिंग ऑफ द एयर, राइट, मीन्स लिफ्टिंग ऑफ द एयर्स टू द एटमोसफियर्स, राइट. मीन्स व्हाट हैपेंस ड्यू टू द प्रेशर डिफरेंस का वजह से क्या होता है, मीन्स लिफ्टिंग ऑफ एयर टेक्स प्लेस, राइट. एंड दैट लिफ्टिंग ऑफ एयर कॉज द कंडेंसन्स एंड फॉर्म ऑफ द मीन्स वाटर ड्रॉपलेट टेक्स प्लेस, राइट. एंड हेयर द कंडेंसन्स, राइट, ये कंडेंसन क्या होता है, कंडेंसन इज नथिंग बट इट इज द मीन्स इट इज द मॉइस्चर्स व्हिच इज इन द वेपर फॉर्म्स दैट बिकम्स वाटर, राइट. मीन्स एक वेपर फॉर्म में होता है, उसके बाद जो वाटर द प्रोसेस ऑफ मीन्स व्हाट यू कॉल कन्वर्टिंग वेपर्स इनटू द means what you call liquid, that is nothing but the condensation. So due to the means what you call say, due to the pressure difference, the means lifting of air takes place, and that cause the condensation and ultimately or eventually the means what you call water droplet growth. Similarly here the another is means condenser nuclei, right, are also necessary for the formation of droplet. So here अब समझना क्या है कि condenser nuclei होता क्या है. As you can see in the figure that it is the means condensation nuclei, right, means condensation nuclei is nothing but we can understand like this. हम इसको इस तरीके से समझ सकते हैं, means any tiny particles, right, means कोई भी tinical particles like dust, pollen, salt भी हो सकता है, ash or even the bacteria, right, means any teeny particles means like dust, pollen, salt, even the bacteria that provide a surface. Remember that provide a surface for the water to condense on, right. As you can see here my dear friends, this is the means what you call tiny particles. It may be what I have told you, it may be the dust, right, means it is the means due to the dust, it may be the pollen, it may be the salt or even the bacteria, and it provides surface. As you can see, it provides surface for what? For water, right, it provides surface for the water to condense, right. So condensation nuclei especially takes place in the atmosphere itself, right. ये सब क्या होता है, atmosphere में होता है, ठीक है, means धरती का सतह पे नहीं होता है, ठीक है. So we can say that condensation nuclei is also responsible for the formations of the droplet, right, for the formation of the droplet. So condensation nuclei is also responsible for the formation of the droplet, and they are usually present in the atmospheres, and I have told you that means they are especially present in the atmospheres. So this is the means also reasons behind the occurring of the precipitations. So here similarly meteorological phenomena of the lifting of air's mass is the essential, yes, the same. So we can short terms we can means write that like the lifting, condensation and the droplet formations. So these are the reasons, these are the reason behind of occurring of the precipitations. So उम्मीद करता हूँ कि यहाँ तक आपको क्लियर कट समझ में आ गया होगा, ठीक है. चलिए अब बात करते हैं टाइप्स ऑफ प्रिसिपिटेशन. मीन्स क्या होता है, मीन्स प्रिसिपिटेशन जो होता है मीन्स स्पेशली इट इज मीन्स क्या मीन्स व्हाट यू कॉल क्लासिफाइड बेस्ड ऑन द फैक्टर्स रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द लिफ्टिंग ऑफ एयर, राइट. मीन्स स्पेशली क्या होता है, स्पेशली प्रिसिपिटेशन क्यों होता है, मीन्स जब मीन्स जो एयर होता है वो ऊपर की जो मीन्स गर्म मीन्स हॉट एयर होता है वो ऊपर की तरफ जाता है, राइट. बिकॉज ऑफ द लिफ्टिंग ऑफ द वार्म एयर टू द एटमॉस्फेयर्स आर द मीन्स कॉज ऑफ द व्हाट यू कॉल कंडेंसन एंड मीन्स अल्टीमेटली इट विल कॉज means the form of precipitations. So means according to the factor responsible for the liftings, they are especially classified in the 4 types, right. As you can see, the cyclonic precipitations, right, cyclonic precipitations, so convective precipitations, orographic and the precipitation due to turbulent ascent. So हम लोग इसको एकदम आसान भाषा में समझेंगे, ठीक है. वी विल गोइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कंसेप्ट इन easy language, right. So that you can understand the concept very clearly, and it is very easy to understand all those things. And my dear friends, please understand this concept very clearly, means a lots of objective questions are going to be asked means from these types of questions, right. So here let's understand first the cyclonic precipitations. माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, इसको इस तरीके से समझते हैं. जो साइक्लोनिक प्रिसिपिटेशन होता है वो स्पेशली क्या होता है, प्रेशर डिफरेंस का कारण होता है, राइट. मीन्स व्हाट यू कॉल साइक्लोनिक प्रिसिपिटेशन इज मीन्स स्पेशली ऑकरिंग ड्यू टू द प्रेशर डिफरेंस, राइट. So because of the pressure difference, the lifting of air takes place, ठीक है. So means we can say that cyclonic precipitation is especially caused by lifting of the air. And why the lifting of air takes place? Because of the pressure difference. Pressure difference के कारण से जो lifting of air होता है, ठीक है. So जो ये प्रिसिपिटेशन का 2 फॉर्म होता है, ठीक है. एक होता है फ्रंटल प्रिसिपिटेशन और एक होता है नॉन फ्रंटल प्रिसिपिटेशन. चलिए इन दोनों को एकदम मीन्स एक इमेज के जरिए हम इसको समझने की कोशिश करते हैं और ये बहुत ही आसानी से आप समझ जाओगे, मैं उम्मीद करता हूँ. तो चलिए पहले इधर एक मीन्स देख लेते हैं, राइट. मीन्स व्हेन द 2 masses, right, when the 2 air masses due to contrasting temperatures and the density clash with each others, then the condensation and precipitations occur at the same of the contact. Here what happens when the 2 means air masses, right, means hot air and the cold air. Wait, let me show you in figure so that you can understand. Yeah, see the frontal precipitations. What happens? This is, right, means cold air, right, means when the cold airs and the hot air, right, व्हेन कोल्ड एयर एंड हॉट एयर क्लैश ईच अदर, राइट, जब एक दूसरे में क्लैश होता है तो हमको पता है कि हॉट एयर का क्या होता है, डेंसिटी और वो लाइट इन वेट होता है, राइट. एट द सेम टाइम्स कोल्ड एयर है इज हैवी एयर्स एंड द डेंस. So what happens when it clash each others, means the warm airs, right, rise over the cold air, ठीक है. इसका क्या होता है, मीन्स ये राइज होकर ऊपर चला जाता है, ठीक है, एंड इट फॉर्म्स द कंडेंस एंड अल्टीमेटली द मीन्स व्हाट वी कॉल्स convective sorry cyclonic precipitations takes place. So this is the reason behind, means, and this is the means what you call means this is how the means cyclonic precipitation takes place. And when these two air clash each others on this surface, that is nothing but the front, that is nothing but front. So उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपको अच्छे तरीके से समझ में आएगा क्या होता है. इधर से मीन्स हॉट ईयर और इधर से कोल्ड ईयर दोनों क्लैश होता है. उसके बाद क्या होता है, मीन्स कोल्ड एयर हैवी होने के कारण से ये मूव नहीं कर पाता है, लेकिन जो वार्म एयर होता है इसका मूव करके ऊपर जाता है, देन कंडेंस होता है, अल्टीमेटली द मीन्स साइक्लोनिक प्रिसिपिटेशन टेक्स प्लेस. So this is what here written, and here a front is the interface, right, here front is the interface between the two indistinct air masses, right. So उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपको समझ में आया हो. आपको मैं एक और फिगर दिखाना चाहता हूँ. Now we'll understand the non-frontal precipitations. It is quite opposite of the frontal means precipitations. Here what happened when the cold air meets the stationary warm air, right. Here the warm air means air is stationary, means it is like a fixed, right. It cannot move. So when the cold air meets the stationary warm air, then non-frontal precipitations occur, right. So here see once let me here see this is warm airs and this is the stationary, right, this is fixed. So what happens, this cold airs, right, meets the warm air, right. आप देख सकते हैं कि जो cold air है वो क्या होता है, means warm air से meet करता है, then there is the here see the formations of condensation taking place, right, and ultimately the rainfalls, right, see the rainfalls is occurring. So this is nothing but the means non-frontal precipitations. So hope आपको समझ में आया हो, ठीक है. So this is what it means. It is written in the means what we call in the sentence forms, right. Means when the cold water meets the stationary warm air, right, means then the non-frontal precipitation takes place in the same manner. So here you can see that the moist warm air masses is stationary and moving air meets it. Thus, due to the lightness of warm air mass is their passive ascending and the warm airs over the cold airs, then the active all these things of which I have already discussed, means you can simply write it as non-frontal precipitations is the types of cyclonic precipitations in which the cold means what the cold means air meets the stationary warm airs, right, and hence the occurring means hence the formation of the condensation takes place and eventually the precipitations takes place. There are the different types of means what we call front. Here the warm front, cold front and stationary front. So this is all about the cyclonic precipitation. Let's talk about the convective precipitation. My dear friends, convective precipitation is nothing but ये क्या होता है कि मीन्स बहुत ही गर्मी के कारण, राइट, बिकॉज ऑफ द मीन्स व्हाट यू कॉल्स मीन्स हीटिंग ऑफ द अर्थ सरफेस. क्या होता है जब मीन्स बहुत ज़्यादा गर्मी आ जाता है तो आप देखे होंगे कि अचानक सी बारिश आ जाता है, ठीक है. मीन्स व्हेन यू फील लॉट्स ऑफ हॉट ऑफ द अर्थ सरफेस, then there may be a suddenly of the precipitation or there may be a suddenly rainfalls takes place. That is nothing but the convective precipitations. आप लोग ऐसे बोला जाता है कि अरे यार आज कितना गर्मी है, आज पक्का बारिश आएगा, राइट. So that assumptions is related to the convective precipitations. So let me show you one figures, and especially this happens, right, you can see the heating of the earth surface and the air rises rapidly, right. Means because of the heating of the earth surface the air rises rapidly in the vertical manner, right. Remember, in the vertical manners, as the air rises it cools, right. When it means reaches in the atmospheres it cools because of the low pressures and the moisture condense into the clouds and the precipitations occurs. So vertical airs, it always travels, the means air here travels in the vertical airs tremendous velocity, right. It has the high velocity as the earth surface is heated. So convective precipitations occur in the form of the shower of the high intensity and the short duration. क्या होता है कि यह किस टाइप का मीन्स प्रेसिपिटेशन होता है, मीन्स बहुत ही ज़्यादा पानी आने लगता है, ठीक है. मीन्स एकदम धब पानी होने लगता है, उसके बाद तुरंत ही पानी खत्म हो जाता है, मीन्स तुरंत बरसात जो होता है वो खत्म हो जाता है. दैट इज नथिंग बट द convective precipitation. Here you can see that this is convective precipitation. Here, because of the means verticals, because of the heating of the earth surface, means rising of the means air takes place. As you can see, evaporation in the form of evaporation. There, here the air cools. When the air cools, it forms the condensations, right? And then eventually the heavy rain, means because of the coolingness of the air, eventually the heavy rainfalls takes place, and it has high intensity but the short durations. Remember, convective precipitation has a high density but the short duration. आप इस फिगर में भी देख सकते हैं, ठीक है, जो ये सन के कारण से क्या हुआ, ये अर्थ सरफेस हीट हुआ, और ज़्यादा हीट होने के कारण से जो इस एयर हुआ वो रैपिड मीन्स रैपिडली travel हुआ to the atmospheres, and because of the means when it reaches to the atmospheres, the air means the air cools down and the formation of the condensation takes place, then eventually the rainfall takes place, and it has high intensity, the low duration. Now let's talk about the orographic precipitation, right? Means this is such type of precipitations, especially it is takes place in the what you call in the means Himalaya region, right? Right, means in the mountain regions, right? As you can see, then the means orographic precipitation due to the lifting of the means warm moistures laden or means air masses due to the topographical barriers such as mountains. What happens due to the barrier like mountains? Means when the means what you call when the air means travel from the means oceans, right, from the long durations, then it strike the mountains, and when it strike the mountains, the air moves upward to the atmosphere, right? क्या होता है कि मीन्स पहाड़ का कारण से क्या होता है, मान लीजिए कि एक एयर है, वार्म एयर, वो ट्रैवल होते आ रहा है, ठीक है, फिर क्या करेगा, पहाड़ को स्ट्राइक करेगा, राइट? मीन्स द वार्म एयर स्ट्राइक द माउंटेन्स लाइक मीन्स एज ए बैरियर्स, देन सडनली द मीन्स दैट वार्म एयर्स मूव्स टू द एटमोस्फियर्स, राइट, एंड इट कूल्स डाउन, and ultimately the means verticals means precipitation takes place. So all the precipitation we have seen in the Himalaya regions is because of the orographic means ascent and the air masses rich in moistures content because of their long travel over the oceans, right? Means the airs travel from the oceans and means verticals and strike the mountain. As you can see this one, this is orographic means precipitations. It is means Himalaya, right? It is in mountains. So what happens here means from warm air that due to evaporations, the means the air is traveling from the means travel from long distance from the oceans, then it strike this one, right? क्या होगा, इसको strike करेगा, and the air moves upward, right? Means air move like this to the atmospheres, and the condensation takes place, and eventually this ones means particular precipitation or rainfall takes place. But besides of these ones, the rain shadow, right? Means यहाँ पे क्या, यहाँ पे बारिश सचमुच होगा, ठीक है, लेकिन पहाड़ का उस तरफ क्या होगा, मीन्स बारिश नहीं होगा, ठीक है, मीन्स वहाँ पे क्या होगा, बारिश की तरफ फील होगा, ठंडा फील होगा, ठीक है, इसीलिए होता है कि मीन्स कहीं कहीं क्या होता है, पहाड़ का उस तरफ बारिश होता रहता है पर इस तरफ बारिश नहीं होता रहता है. ये दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द ओरोग्राफिक प्रिसिपिटेशन. सो सच टाइप ऑफ प्रिसिपिटेशन इज नथिंग बट द ओरोग्राफिक प्रिसिपिटेशन इन व्हिच द मास ऑफ द एयर स्ट्राइकिंग द मीन्स माउंटेन्स and the air, the lightness of air moves to the atmospheres and the form the condensations and the means due to the coolingness of the air the precipitation takes place. So hope करता हूँ आप, उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपको समझ में आ रहा हो अच्छे तरीक़ा से, ठीक है. So we have already, so let's talk about the large types of precipitations, that is precipitations due to turbulent ascent, right? Turbulent ascent means with a high velocity, right? So air masses force is rising off. क्या होता है, जो air mass force होता है means वो due to the greater friction of earth के कारण वो ऊपर जाता है, ठीक है, और after travel from the oceans the means same happens when it reach to the atmosphere, the coolness takes place and that means eventually the rainfall takes place. So the air mass rises up and the increased turbulence and the frictions, because of the means turbulence and frictions where it ultimately condense and precipitations occurs. So we have discussed about the precipitation and the types of precipitations. Let's talk about the means forms of precipitations, right? My dear friends, there are different forms of precipitations. So let's talk about means and understand the concept very clearly. क्या होता है कि आपको कम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में इसमें से क्वेश्चन आया रहता है, ठीक है, आपको कोई डिफिनेशन दे दिया रहेगा और बोलेगा मीन्स आपको जज करना है कि कौन सा ड्रिजल है, कौन सा रेन है. सो अंडरस्टैंड दिस concept very clearly. Let's talk about the drizzles. My dear friends, drizzles is a form of precipitations, right? Form of precipitation in which the size of water droplet, जो वाटर ड्रॉपलेट का जो साइज होता है, ठीक है, ये मान लीजिए ये वाटर ड्रॉपलेट है जो एटमॉस्फेयर से गिर के मीन्स जमीन का सतह पे आए, राइट. सो दिस वाटर ड्रॉपलेट इज अंडर 0.5 mm, राइट. जो इसका मतलब डायमीटर होगा वो कितना होगा, लेस देन mm, right, 0.5 mm से कम होगा, and its density is 1 mm per hour, right. माय डियर फ्रेंड्स, आप सभी को पता होना चाहिए कि मीन्स कई बार आपको बोला जाता है कि रेनफॉल 1 mm पर आवर था, ठीक है, मीन्स 2.75 mm पर आवर था. इसका मतलब क्या होता है, मीन्स व्हाट डू यू मीन द इंटेंसिटी ऑफ रेनफॉल इज 1 mm पर आवर, राइट. It should be understood, my dear friends, as an engineer we should know all these things, right. So let me tell you, right, 1 mm per hour means nothing, means in 1 square meter, right. Suppose imagine this is 1 square meter area. In 1 square meters the area is filled with 1 mm, right, 1 mm height. ठीक है, मान लीजिए इसमें पानी मीन्स ये 1 मीटर स्क्वायर का एरिया है, इसमें क्या होगा 1 mm का जो वाटर होगा वो राइज होगा, ठीक है. आप समझ रहे हो, आप एक वेसल ले लो, जस्ट इमेजिन टेक मीन्स वेसल्स ऑफ 1 मीटर स्क्वायर, राइट, 1 मीटर स्क्वायर का वेसल लीजिए एंड कीप इट इन द आउटसाइड ऑफ रेनिंग, ठीक है, आप उसको बाहर रख दीजिए, ठीक है, जब बारिश हो रहा है. देन द वाटर, व्हेन द वाटर फिल्स मीन्स 1 mm in 1 hour, that means the intensity of rainfall is 1 mm. So means for the drizzling, that means the diameters of the water droplets should be less than 0.5 mm. At the same time its density should be less than 1 mm per hour. So that is nothing but the drizzling. So because of the lightness the droplets appears to be floating in the air, right, means it is very lightness, right, means it is floating in the air itself. So this is all about the drizzling. So let me show you on figure. So here as you can see that what we call the droplet of water size is less than the rain, right. So this is the this is nothing but the form of the drizzling, right. Now we'll talk about rain, right. Yes, हम सभी को पता है रेन क्या होता है, राइट, मीन्स इट इज़ ऑल्सो अ फॉर्म ऑफ प्रिसिपिटेशन, ठीक है, ये भी एक प्रिसिपिटेशन का ही फॉर्म है जिसका साइज क्या होता है, मीन्स ग्रेटर देन, राइट, 0.5 mm, राइट. The size of the rainfall or the size of the what you call water droplet of rainfall, ठीक है, जो rainfall का जो water droplet होता है, ठीक है, उसका size क्या होता है, 0.5 से बड़ा होता है, ठीक है, and the maximum size is 6 mm, right, means it is size varying from 0.5 mm to 6 mm, right. And what you call the rainfall is categorized into the 3 types, right, light rainfall, moderate rainfall, and that means heavy rainfall. So light rainfall means what you call when the precipitations falling is, right, 0.25 mm per hour, that is the intensity of rainfall, right, means क्या होता है 1 मीटर स्क्वायर में, ठीक है, जो वाटर ड्रॉपलेट और रेनफॉल का जो क्या होता है हाइट होता है, राइट, द डेप्थ ऑफ द वाटर इज 2.5 mm in per hours. That means it is a light rainfalls. If it is 2.5 to 7.5 then it is moderate. If it is greater than 7.5 mm per hours means that is heavy rainfall, right. Means in 1 meter square the depth of the water is greater than 7.5 mm. That type of rain is nothing but it is what you call heavy rainfall. Here you can see that the size of the what you call the size of the water droplet is lying between 0.5 mm to what 6 mm, right. So this is rainfall, right, and no need to explain all more about the rainfall because you know it very well. So let's talk about the another topic. My dear friends, glaze. Yes, जो glaze होता है बहुत ही इंटरेस्टिंग है. ग्लेज क्या होता है, जब when the rain and the drizzles, right, when the rain or drizzles comes in contact with the cold ground, right, means this is glaze is especially formed in the cold area, right, means at the area of having 0 degree, right, means इसको ध्यान से समझिए, एक पानी और ड्रिजल्स दोनों कंटेक्ट में आता है means cold ground पे, and there is the formations of what you call a droplet or the freeze of the droplet, that is nothing but the glaze, right. समझ में आ रहा है आप लोगों को, means when the water or glaze comes in the contact with each others in the cold area of having 0 degree, right, then there is the formations of frozen drop in the form of ice coating is known as glaze, or the glaze is also known as freezing air. So let me show you one figure. My dear friends, freezing air freezing rain, you can see it. This is nothing but, so this is freezing rains, and it forms, right, so when the rains and the drizzles comes in contact with the having a 0 degree, means in the frozen ground, then the means freezing rain takes place, and freezing rain is also known as what? Glaze. So this is the figure of glaze. Now the sleet, right? Sleet is nothing but it is also the means what you call frozen rain drops cooled means to its ice stage, right? Ice means what you call, so it is a means form of precipitations of having means ice stage while falling through the air at the soft means soft freezing temperatures, right? Means we can understand like this, means it is means form of precipitations of having the ice in form, right, while falling through the air at the soft freezing temperature. So my dear friends, this is sleet, right? As you can see that means the ice, right, means a small bubble like ice, right? So this is nothing but the sleet. So this is sleet and this is means freezing rain, and snow as you know means all over. So means when you know all this concept, जब आपको ये सब concept imagination पता रहेगा कि means freezing rain किसको बोलता है, कैसे formation होता है, sleet किसको बोला जाता है, then you can define it in your own way, right? No need to remember or no need to means what you call means memorize all these things. You can define it in your own language, right? So means understanding the concept is very essential. Now means hail, right? Means hail we can say that means it is means what you call form of precipitations of having like means pellets or the lumps of ice, right? Means which is having the size is greater than 8 mm, right? मीन्स जब बारिश होता है तो ऊपर से मीन्स बोलता है ना, मीन्स बोला जाता है कि पत्थर गिर रहा है, राइट? मीन्स जो मीन्स बड़ा पत्थर होता है जो मीन्स बारिश के समय पे गिरा जाता है, दैट इज नथिंग बट द हेल, राइट? मीन्स अब मीन्स द साइज ऑफ दैट वंस इरेगुलर शेप्स ऑफ द lumps of the ice is greater than 8 mm. So let me show you one figure. Yes, you can see here, right? Means it is the lumps of the ice, right? Means of having greater than 8 mm. So this is nothing but the hail, right? Means ये बहुत ही खतरनाक होता है, right? Means during the means what we calls falling of the hails may be put the human being life in dangers. So means as you can see that the size of the these lumps of the ice is greater than 8 mm, right? So it is very dangerous. We must have to be careful of such types of means of falling or such types of precipitation. Now snow, right? आपको तो पता ही है snow क्या है, ठीक है? Means it is also form of precipitations in which it means like ice crystals, right? The falling of means ice crystal from the atmosphere, right? Means that is means resulting from the sublimations of that is water vapor change into the ice, right? Means the water vapor present in the atmosphere that change in the form of the ice, right? That is nothing but the snow, right? Snow has initial density that is 0.06, and when it reaches to the ground its density increases to 0.1 gram per centimeter cube, right? Means 0.06 to 0.15 gram per centimeter, but its average density is 1 gram per centimeter cube. So my dear friends, we have already discussed about the types of precipitations, right? The forms of precipitation. उम्मीद करता हूँ कि आपको ये सब concept समझ में आया हो. Let's talk about the right measurements of precipitation. So here we'll talk about the means measurement of precipitation, right? Means how can the precipitations can be measured, राइट? रेनफॉल को कैसे नापा जाता है, कितना मीन्स कितना रेनफॉल हो रहा है, कितना मीन्स वो सब को मीन्स कैसे मेजरमेंट किया जाता है, उसके बारे में हम लोग स्टडी करेंगे, राइट? सो विल टॉक अबाउट द मेजरमेंट्स हियर. द अमाउंट ऑफ प्रेसिपिटेशंस इज एक्सप्रेस्ड इन द टर्म ऑफ डेप्थ. I have already told you that means how much precipitation is taking place as we can measure from the depth, right? Means it is 1 mm per hour, means 1 mm the depth of the waters in per square meter. So this is the amount of means precipitation is expressed in the form of depth, either it may be in centimeters, in mm or in inches, which falls on the level surface, and it is measured by rain gauge. So precipitation is measured by an instrument which is nothing but the rain gauge. ठीक है, अब दिमाग में रख लीजिए कि रेन गेज को इस्तेमाल किया जाता है प्रिसिपिटेशंस और रेनफॉल नापने के लिए, ठीक है? और जो मीन्स रेन गेज को मीन्स रेन गेज वेरियसली नॉन एज, राइट, हाइटोमीटर्स, राइट, ओब्रोमीटर्स, राइट, और द pulviometers. So this is the means variety variously means known as, right, means this is the another name of, we can say that, the rain gauge. So let's talk about the types of rain gauge. There are means mainly two types of rain gauge, that is non-recording type, or the which is also known as ordinary, or it is also known as non-automatic type, right? Non-recording or ordinary, or non-automatic, and similarly recording types automatic rain gauge, right? So let's talk about the non-recording. My dear friends, non-recording rain gauge means it is prescribed by the IMD, Indian Meteorological Department, right? Right, it means that is Simon's rain gauge, right? Means the name of the what you call non-recording rain gauge is Simon's rain gauge, which is very common type of rain gauge using in India, right? Means अक्सर means Simon's जो rain gauge होता है उसको इस्तेमाल किया जाता है means rainfall का intensity नापने के लिए और means verticals they means to measure the intensity of precipitations. So let's talk about the what you call Simon's precipitation. So my dear friends, this is means diagrams of what you call Simon's rain gauge. As you can see that this is a cylindric cylinder of having 120 mm dia at the top end, top point, and at the down of the cylinder is 210 mm, right? And the height of the cylinder is 305 mm, right? So it means we can see that from here this is known as funnel, right? So the same things is explained here, it consists of cylindrical vessels of 120 mm, right, which is also known as 5 inch in diameters, with the diameter of the base enlarged to 2/10 or 8 mm. So no need to explain, it is totally written as from the above figures. क्या होता है Simon's rain gauge का क्या होता है, जो vertical जो top point का जो vessel जो top point का जो diameter होता है वो 127 होता है, at the same times the bottom point का तो वो 210 होता है, ठीक है. The top sections is the funnels provided in the circular brass rings of 120, as you can see that my dear friends, ठीक है. ये जो है ये funnel है, ठीक है. क्या होता है let me tell you the working the process of working of this ones. When the rainfalls takes place, right, जब बारिश होने लगता है, when the rainfall is taking place, then what happens, the waters entered in the funnels and ultimately deposit in this what you call vessel, right? इस vessel में क्या होता है, deposit हो जाता है, ठीक है. Then these vessels of having measuring scale, ठीक है. इस vessel में क्या होता है, measuring scale होता है, और जिस with the help of these measuring scales we can measure what you call the depth of the precipitations, and if we measure the depth of the precipitation, then we got the intensity of rainfall. So this is how we can measure. So when the water comes into the upper portion, upper diameter of the vessel, then it enters to the what you call measuring cylinders through the funnel, right? And the measuring cylinder diameters all is given here. So here the funnel shank is inserted in the neck of the receiving bottles of having 75 to what you call 100. इसका जो bottle का जो capacity होता है, it capacity 75 mm to 100 mm. So once this bottle is filled, we have to remove immediately, right? So it is what you call, so we need a one person, एक वहाँ पे person होना चाहिए जो उसको change करते रहे, ठीक है. Need a one person so that they once the bottle is filled, we have to remove, or we have to throw out the waters we have measured, and again we have to put the another bottles. So here the height of the collector is 305 mm above the ground level. So this is all about. Here the receiving bottles capacity is 75 to 100, right, of the rainfall. During the heavy rainfalls of the quantity is frequent exceed, then the rain should be measured 3 to 4 times in a day. वही मैं बोला हूँ आपको, जब heavy rainfall होता है, right, when the heavy rainfall occurs, right, then we have to measure the 3 to 4 times in a day, right, as its capacity is only up to 100 mm. So we need a proper care, maintenance and inspections of this non-automatic rain gauge. So let's talk about the recording type of rain gauge. So my dear friends, in this recording type of rain gauge, right, we plot the rainfalls against the times, right. In y-axis we will plot the rainfall, right, the intensity of rainfalls versus times, and provide the valuable data, intensity and duration of the rainfalls for the hydrological analysis of storms. So what happens that in non-recording rain gauge, right, the amount of rainfalls is only recorded, right, they can't that is non-recording types of non-recording types of rain gauge cannot provide the information about when the rain exactly started, right, when the rain ended, right, what is the intensity of rainfalls, right, how much the intensity of rainfall varies with the durations, right. ये सब डाटा क्या होता था means that once non-automatic rain gauge cannot provide all this data, right? Means rainfall कब शुरू हुआ, कितना इंटेंसिटी था, ठीक है. It just measured what you call the amount of rainfall, ठीक है. जो means non-recording rain gauge only used to measure what the amount of rainfall, the amount of precipitations. It does not give the value of, means it does not give when it commenced, when it started, when it stopped, what is the intensity of rainfall. So to cover or to oversee all these things, the recording type of means what you call the means recording type means of rain gauge comes into the existence, right? So there are the means what we call three types of means what we call automatic means rain gauge, right? That is tipping, or it is also known as tilting bucket type. Similarly wedging, right, means wedging bucket, and the float type with the chiffons arrangement. So let's talk about all these types. So it is means very easy to understand. So once you understand, you can write it in your own way. So my dear friends, so yes, this is a figure of wedging type of means rain gauge, right? Wedging type of rain gauge means means automatic, right? Means it can record automatically. So you can see that means when the rains means occurs, the means the forms of the rains enter. So as you can see that wedging bucket type of rain gauge is most common self-recording rain gauge, right? Means it can means record the intensity of a rainfalls automatically, right? Means it consists of the receiver bucket supported by the spring or levers. As you know, this ones is known as, right, means what you call support means receiver bucket, right? It is supported by the spring or the levers, right, or the some of the wedging mechanism. So the movement of this bucket due to the increase in the weight transmission, right? क्या होता है कि when the means rainfalls started, right, means the movement of this buckets takes place. When the rainfall is high, then it moves faster, right? Means जब इसमें लोड पड़ेगा तो क्या होगा, ये नीचे की तरफ जाएगा, right? Then this one pen arm is used to record the means what you call the depth of the means how much it comes down, right? So by this process we can means what we can record the intensity of rainfall, ठीक है. पानी जब आएगा तो ये क्या होगा, नीचे की तरफ आएगा, it pulls down, right? Then means when the movement of the receivers means buckets takes place, then means from the with the help of the pen arm, right, we can record the intensity of rainfalls. So this is all about what we call means wedging bucket, means this is all about the wedging types of wedging bucket type rain gauge, right? Instruments gives the plot of the means increased rainfalls against the means times, right? So here you can see that the movement of the bucket is due to the increase in weight is transmitted to the pen, right? Means when the weight of the bucket increases due to the means collection of the rainwater, ठीक है, rainwater collect करने में जो weight increase होगा, then with the help of the pen, right, we can means what you can record the means intensity of rainfall. This is what here written: determine the rainfalls in the short period of time, right? Means takes a very short times to record the means rainfall. So it is self recording rain gauge, right, as shown in the figures. So all these are already I have explained. So this is, as you can write it in your notes so that it's very easy for you to understand the concept. So just here is to understand the concept as a tipping bucket type of rain gauge. Yes, this is so this is a tipping bucket type of rain gauge consisting of the 30 mm, right, means 30 centimeters diameter sharp edge receiver, right? As you can see that this is the sharp edge receivers, right? It means in the water is collected in this ones, right? It means initially, so this is of having the 30 mm diameters, and at the end of the receivers there is a means provided a funnel, right? As you can see at the end of the receivers means there is a provisions, or there is provided with the funnel. So a pair of the buckets are attached, right? It means these ones is nothing but known as what you call tipping buckets, right? So the tipping bucket is means there are the two tipping bucket, right? So क्या होता है means a pair of the buckets are means pivoted on the means under the funnel in such a way that the one bucket receives water, right? So let me show you one clear figure so that you can understand. So this bucket is known as means what we call this bucket is nothing but it is a tipping, right, tipping bucket. So in what happens when the means when the rain enters in this bucket, then means there are two buckets, then one bucket is filled, then it means strike the right means what we call calibrating screw, or which is also known as a stop sensor. So when it strike this right means screw, then automatically the means intensity of the rainfall is recorded, right, and this water transfer to through the discharge holes, and the water transfer to the means what you call drainage, right. So once this is means pass, this water is passed through the drainage, then automatically this bucket comes up and started recording. So this procedure is continue, right, and there is no need to means what you call say frequently changing, right, means आप इसको एक बार रख दीजिए and it can record means the rainfalls automatically, right, means when one bucket is filled, other removed, then one is filled. So in this way, and striking this one's calibrant screw, that is this is the means what you call sensors. So in this ones in this way, the means what you call the tipping bucket type of rain gauge means started recording of the intensity of rainfall. This is what I have written here: 30 centimeter of diameter sharp edge receivers. At the end of the receivers there is a provider the funnels, and when the rainwater takes place in such a way, right, means as you can write it, right, that when the period such a way that in such a way that when the one bucket receives the rainfalls of the precipitation, the tips discharges, right, means जब एक bucket means fill होगा तो क्या होगा, उसके बाद discharge होगा then into the reservoirs, right, means either it may be discharged to the reservoir or to the drainage, right, then bringing the other bucket under the funnel. फिर उसके बाद जब discharge होगा तो दूसरा bucket आ जाएगा. So in this process means and this one tipping bucket means completes on the electric unit, right, means it's run over the electric unit, casting the means the movement of the pen to make the mark on the clock driven, right, and it means the recording is also used by the means what it is recorded by the pen, right. The last type is float type of automatic rain gauge. This one, the working process of this one is same as the wedging bucket type of rain gauge, right, means the same process consists in this ones. A funnel receives rainwater, right, means the top of the bucket receive rainwater into the rectangular containers, right, and the containers of having the measuring tanks so that it can be measured, right. The float is provided at the bottom of the container. One float is provided in the bottom of the containers, and the float is raised as the water level rises, right, means क्या होगा, जब उसमें वाटर राइज करेगा तो उसके साथ साथ फ्लोट भी राइज करेगा, एंड दैट मूवमेंट इज रिकॉर्डेड बाय द पेन मूविंग ऑन द रिकॉर्डिंग ड्रम, राइट, एक्यूरेटेड बाय द मीन्स क्लॉक. मीन्स क्या होगा, जब पानी मीन्स पानी का डेप्थ बढ़ेगा देन द फ्लोट इंक्रीजेज एंड दैट फ्लोट इज रिकॉर्डेड बाय द पेन. सो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट मीन्स व्हाट यू कॉल the recording or the automatic type of rain gauge. So let me show you one figure. So this is the figures of what you call float type rain gauge or natural siphons. As you can see that this is all about, right, here the float is provided, as I have told you that at the bottom of the rainfall there is a float is provided. So when the water enters, right, means at the float goes up, so that through the pen strokes we can and we can record the intensity of rainfall. So when the water level in this container rises up so that the float touches the top, right, when the water is means entered in this one's rectangular box, then the float touches the top surface, right. When it touches the top of the surface, comes in opens, means what you call operations, and the release the waters. So all the waters in the box will be drained out. So in this one the means process is taking place. So I hope you have understood these ones, and please write the note so that you can means you will be benefited, or you will be benefited means to crack or to have all this comprehensive knowledge. So means I hope you have understood the concept very clearly, and thank you for watching my video, and if you like it, please share it, please don't forget to share it to your friends, and thank you. आप अपना ध्यान रखें, or means please be with us so that you can understand the concept and clearly. And one more things, my dear friends, for multiple questions you can follow us on the Instagrams, which the link is mentioned in the and I have substituted that links in the description box. So thank you, bye bye.